There are so many religions in the world. Can Jesus really be the only way to God? What about the other religions? It's a question we've grappled with in the West since the world became a global village. However, it's not without good reason that Christians believe that Jesus was who he claimed to be. God on earth, providing the path back to a restored relationship with himself. In some circles, it seems to be popular to believe that all religions are essentially the same. Put simply, this doesn't make great sense because the world's major religions say majorly different things on the major issues. For example, does God exist? What's the problem with the world and what's the solution? Do right and wrong even exist? Do our lives have a special purpose? These are important questions, and the world's major religions have very different answers to them. Now, Jesus stands out amongst the world's major religions in numerous ways. To introduce a few, we could consider what the world's religious leaders claimed. Buddha claimed to point the way. Muhammad claimed to be a prophet of God. Darwin claimed to be an accident of chance. But Jesus Christ is the only major religious leader who ever claimed to be God. There is no question that Jesus' claim is the biggest and craziest. But what's so amazing about it is that Jews who believe there is only one God were the first people to hear it. And when they saw Jesus' life, teachings, and miracles, many of them became convinced that he was God in flesh on earth, here to show us how he wants us to live and to die and come back to life for our sin. To give another comparison, in Islam, salvation comes by belief in Allah, Muhammad his prophet, and through good works. In Hinduism, it comes by overcoming karma and incarnations by good works. In Buddhism, salvation comes by getting rid of all desires through the Eightfold Path. In Christianity, though, it comes by faith alone and Christ alone. It is uniquely about what God has done rather than what we have to do. The point being that there is no way that we could ever earn the approval of a perfect God. And so this is why forgiveness and approval from God must be offered as a gift. And in terms of other reasons to believe Jesus' claims, we know that he really lived because of the writings of history. And these include writings of people who didn't even like Jesus or his followers. Consider the miracles of Jesus. Even the Jewish writings and the Babylonian Talmud confirm that Jesus performed miracles, though they attribute the power to the devil. Now, they had no motive to say he had these powers. They simply wrote what they saw. Consider also the prophecies discussed in the previous tutorial. They're another evidence and more unique than most realize. As Jesus explained it, recorded in John 3:16, God loved the world so much that he decided to provide the solution and gave his only Son, so that whoever believes in him, receiving that forgiveness for sin that he offers so freely, should not perish receiving the just consequences for their own wrongs, but have eternal life. I would like to give the final words to Napoleon Bonaparte, the French military leader who was not a Christian. To him, religion was merely a tool to be used. He said he would make himself a Muslim to establish himself in Egypt, and that if he ever governed a nation of Jews, he would re-establish the Temple of Solomon. Yet he could see that Jesus was unique. He said, "I know men, and I tell you that Jesus Christ is not an average man." Superficial minds see a resemblance between Christ and the founders of empires and the gods of other religions. That resemblance does not exist. There is between Christianity and whatever other religions the distance of infinity. He is truly a being by himself. His ideas, his sentiments, the truth which he announces, his manner of convincing. The nearer I approach, the more carefully I examine. Everything is above me. Jesus is a man without equal. And the reason that so many people believe his claim to be the path to restored friendship with our Creator is because there are many very good reasons to do so. In the next and last tutorial in this series, we'll look at whether this Christian faith works for people in daily life. This is a very important question to consider. We'll catch you then.